Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Stretford, Paddock. I am Adam McKola. Manchester United have drawn 2-2 with Tottenham Hotspur at the White Hart Lane Stadium, or whatever the hell they call it these days. And it really was a story of two halves. United were excellent in the first half, raced into a 2-goal lead thanks to goals from Jadon Sancho and Marcus Rashford. But in the second half, it all slipped away. We allowed Spurs back into the game. Goals from Pedro Porro and Heung-min Son means it was a 2-2 draw. In the grand scheme of things, and in terms of our Champions League hopes and all those kind of things, they're not affected or impacted really. But there is a lot of disappointment around about the way we approached that second half. I'm here with Gaz to discuss the game. Gaz, what did you make of that today?
Yeah, they looked really dynamic, didn't they, in that first half? I was really impressed with the first half. The Sancho goal was brilliant. Sancho was great, I think, in the first half. Rashford, great, controlling the game. And then the substitutions killed it. We've given Erik ten Hag a lot of credit this season for the substitutions he's made. And I thought today it was really poor. I know a lot of people will say, like, well, the players have played so many games. They need to come off. We've just had extra time in an FA Cup semi-final. But, like, there were some weird ones.
Fred Eriksen
is the prime example of that. And Ronaldo said it on the watch-along, and I totally agree. He said, this isn't the sort of game that you need Fred in. You need Fred in a game where you're lacking energy, you've not got a lot of the ball, and you need someone to go and chase players down. We had control of that game. Eriksen's the perfect player to be on the pitch at that point. And it all just went to pot from there. Weghorst does what Weghorst does. Anthony, he's one of our main threats. Anthony Martial, I sort of get the substitution, but he was really poor when he came on, I thought.
And then the Wan-Bissaka for Malacia.
That must be, you said that in the watch-along there. There must be a reason for that, because otherwise, why would you
really
make that
weird,
change? Though. It was strange. Look, mate, maybe it did show that we don't have the strength in depth that we need to really compete at the top, but so disappointing that second half. So disappointing.
It was disappointing as well, because we had the chance to even wrap it up. I think Bruno created a magnificent chance for himself in Megs. And if he scores, it's one of the goals of the season. In Megs, I think it was Romero on the edge of the box. Kind of dinks it over the keeper from about 8 yards out and it hits the bar. That goes in, United win 3-4-1. We get the 3 points and we're sitting here buzzing and delighted with the Manchester United performance. It didn't go in though. And Ronaldo at the time was sat there moaning about it. And we were kind of like, all right, chill out a bit, Ronaldo. But he's proved right in the end, because it proved crucial in terms of, we didn't win the game and they went on to score.
He's proved right, but I don't think Bruno tried to do anything too clever with it. I think Bruno created the chance himself, and then I don't think
tried what he could to score.
It wasn't a silly finish. It wasn't he's trying to Rabona it. You know what I mean? He's not trying to go around the goalkeeper when he could have just smashed it in. Obviously, if he just places that in the bottom corner, it goes in. But he made a decision. Wasn't quite the correct decision. But United should have had the game wrapped up at half-time. We've been here too many times this season. There's a clear problem. We dominated Sevilla in the first half at Old Trafford. We shouldn't be out the Europa League, because we should have been 4-0 up at half-time.
Is it tactics and the manager's substitutions? Is it the team? Just mentality's wrong? Maybe they're not approaching the games as seriously. It's like, I don't know what it is, but what do you think it is? What's the reasoning for that?
I'm not sure whether it's tactics necessarily. I think just maybe the attitude of the team is there a little bit as well, but I also think we look knackered. I think a lot of those players do look tired out there. I think we defended really well for a lot of that game. Luke Shaw was having a brilliant game up until half-time. Even at full-time, he had a good game. I think the subs came on and just changed it, and there's a clear gulf in class between the United starting 11 and the rest of them, and that needs to change in the summer. Don't think it will, but it needs to.
Like we said, though, in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't change much for the season.
It does, though. If we lose to Aston Villa, which is a possibility. I know we don't lose much at Old Trafford, but if we lose to Aston Villa...
Which if we perform like we did in the second half,
squeaky bum time massively, mate. I'm proper looking over my shoulder and worried. It's rubbish. Because it's only... I actually would have taken a draw before the game, which is weird. But I still think we look back at this and that's a massive missed opportunity.
No,
I think Villa are a difficult team. I don't think we'll beat them on Sunday either, and that'll be a draw. And then it's like we've got all these players who are knackered. They've got to get themselves up and fight for the last few games.
And you kind of want to go into that FA Cup final with the luxury of not having to worry about the last few games. In the league, we are 2 points behind Newcastle, who are in third with a game in hand. We are 6 points clear of Spurs with 2 games in hand. We are 6 points clear of Villa with 2 games in hand. We are 7 points clear of Liverpool with a game in hand. And we're 11 points clear of Brighton with a game in hand.
If we win on Sunday, then it don't matter. If we win on Sunday, it don't matter. We've done it. It's over. I don't care about third or fourth. That don't matter to me. I don't know about you, but I'm not. It'd be funny to finish above Newcastle.
Doesn't make much difference.
Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't make much difference to me. I think we'll be all right. But you are right in saying you have a negative result against Villa. Your next game's Brighton away midweek.
I know that
we could potentially drop. Let's say we draw both those games. That's 6 points dropped out of the last 3 games. And you are then putting yourself in a position where, you're not using your games in hand to catch up. Although, Brighton, they got beat by Forest the other day.
Yeah, they're still a good team.
They are, yeah.
They got some really good players, and they'll probably have been.
Do you think there could have been a little bit of fatigue showing in that second half, maybe from that cup final?
Yeah,
and maybe that's why he's made all those.
I think United. I've looked knackered for quite a while though now.
Yeah,
they, quite a few of them have done because we have to rely on the same players over and over again. And like you say, yeah, it probably is why he made them subs, but I don't know. Not at that period in the game. I think to bring Fred on it was bizarre. Was bizarre, but we have injuries. We do have injuries, and I don't think it was defensive mistakes today. I think we lost the control of the game in midfield.
Positives, yeah. I thought that Jadon Sancho's performance in the first half was positive. Rashford's back in the goals because he's not scored in a while.
Yeah.
At least it feels like he's not scored in a while.
I think, and I know it's going to sound mad because we conceded 2 goals, but I think that centre-back partnership might be something we can rely on for the rest of the season. Because
you said that at a point in the first half
that's got
Ten Hag might be looking at this now and thinking, until Varane comes back, these are my guys.
It would be for me. I think the weekend against Brighton showed that they were absolutely flawless in that game.
The only problem comes where if you get an injury to a fullback, I wouldn't want to see Malacia starting every game.
I worry about Malacia.
I don't worry about him because I think he's a young player.
Yeah,
I think he'll go through peaks and troughs. Like it happens early on, and I thought he has been. I think he's had as many good games as he has bad games.
Do you think?
But the bad games have all really come close together in the last couple of months.
I don't know about that, mate, myself. I think he's had more bad games, but he's scary defensively. He's scary when there's players running at him. He's scary when he's on the ball in his own half and there's players pressing him. He's scary when he goes forward and not for the opposition. I don't think he's got a good cross in him. I don't think he's a player who can create much. He's young, like you say, so I'm not going to, pile in on a young. I'm not going to pile in on a young lad.
Could be, like his good performance came earlier in the season when we could rely upon Varane and Martinez. You then have a chopping and changing back for your partnerships and your communication and your relationship with those next to you are changing. I think that don't help, especially when you're a young lad. And I think playing Casemiro and Eriksen will give him huge advantages. Like you look at Trent's performances when Henderson ain't in the team, or something like that.
Yeah, you're
I think
right.
The midfield in front of you does help as well, and he's a new young player. I get what you're saying.
I'm not saying like never play him again. I'm just saying like I think we're so much better with someone else there, whether it be Delo or Shaw. At the moment, in 3 years' time, he might be the man, but not quite yet.
Yeah, I totally hear. Jadon Sancho's performance was a good one for me today. I did enjoy that. And Casemiro, although he did a few weird things in the second half, he seems to have found his match rhythm again.
He looks a lot fitter.
Because he looked rusty in the last couple, like Sevilla.
I think he's been really poor the last few games, to be fair, but he's been brilliant for us this whole season.
When he's been available.
I just think like today, like he needed to make up for a lot of people when subs started to be made. And weirdly, he's not a player that I necessarily think will beat United next season, nor necessarily should he be. Scott McTominay would have been a better player to bring on for Fred today, I think. And I'm not saying that he's a better player than Fred. I'm just saying that in that circumstance, he would have been a better player to bring on. But it's just so deflating, isn't it? That so deflating. We were winning, and we were there at our time. Like, this is it. It's over. It's done.
Do you make much of the 1 win in 10 for United away from home against the top 12 teams in the Prem?
That's like, it feels like one of them statistics where they've specifically said.
But then under Ollie, we had the best Premier League away record since records began, and we were awful.
That's because there were no crowds to play with, mate.
Though. We were awful. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
United struggle when, and this is weird as well. United struggle when were in difficult away atmospheres. They were booing the team off at half-time. It was the opposite of a difficult away atmosphere. It was the best away atmosphere
that
you
brought
possibly...
out probably a complacency.
And that might have been it. It might have been a complacency. I don't know what
in
Ten
the
Hag
manager
said
as
to
well, in terms of the substitution.
Yeah. I don't know what Ten Hag said to him at half-time, but it's the same complacency that came in against Sevilla. This is the Premier League, even the Europa League. Like, come on. We know what happens.
You still think we'll get top 4?
Yeah, of course we will. But I think it'll be 4th.
Yeah,
I think if we won this, I would have been like, yeah.
Because Newcastle are looking like a team that want 3rd as well. United are looking like a team that want the season to end, and we just have 4th.
I think it'll be 4th, and I think it'll be less than 5 points that we do it by, which means that we'll carry on going until the last 2 games, probably the last game, who knows.
We probably need that, you know.
No, we needed it to be done earlier on with 2 games to go, so we can focus on the final.
If you switch off for 4 weeks before a final, is that best preparation?
We won't switch off though. We won't switch off. I just think we could have done with a break.
We could have done with that win today.
Yeah,
that would have been huge, where we would have been 8 points clear of them with 2 games in hand. And
I'm just looking at the table.
You would have been 8 points clear of all Villa. 9 points clear.
And we got it's only the main reason I'm saying all this is because we got Villa on Sunday.
But you know what as well?
Win that, it's done.
Yeah. Beat Villa or don't lose against Villa, it's done. Also, we're going on like Tottenham, Villa, and Liverpool and Brighton are going to win every game.
Yeah, well, Villa might.
Villa's games are tough.
I know, but Villa have been good.
They've got Liverpool.
They'll beat Liverpool.
United. They got Brighton. They got Spurs. I think they've got some tricky teams. But anyway, it does feel like 2 points drop tonight, but it doesn't feel like the end of the world. Go and beat Villa, and we turn things around. Gaz, it's been an absolute pleasure watching the game with you.
Cheers,
today.
mate.
Shame it wasn't a better result. You're at Old Trafford on Sunday doing the comms.
Yeah, I'll be doing
Radio
updates for BBC Radio Manchester. You can get my new United podcast as well. I say new this season with Joe McGrath. You probably know him from the channel as well. It's called The Devil's Advocate. Get it wherever you listen to your podcasts. And weekdays 6 till 7 on Talking Balls.
Yeah, radio_Gaz on the socials. Thank you very much to Gaz for joining us. Thank you very much to you guys at home for watching, whether you watched the watch along or you just watched this review. We absolutely appreciate you. United didn't get the job done today, but beat Villa on the weekend, and it's all good, baby. It's all good. 3rd or 4th, doesn't even matter where you finish.
Nah.
You get the same thing, which is Champions League football, and it looks like we're on course for that, despite the disappointment today. Anyway, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you in a bit.